Oh man, that was a hardcore session of trains. I'll switch us over to space news now. We have to talk about Twitter acquisitions. And then the reason why I didn't mind letting space news go a little bit late is because if you're staying up with me for this stream, well, guess what? This stream's going literally another 12 hours. Yep. We got 10 to 12 hours left of stream. Because at midnight, Crew 4 coverage starts, and then they launch at 4 a.m., 4 hours after that. And then they'll get up in the air, and then the stream's over. So we have chamber pressure is 160% of what 5.56 uses. Yeah. So this is a very long stream. So we got plenty of time. We got plenty of time to play Tarkov. We got plenty of time to do space news. Playing Tarkov with Taradra after space news and then coverage after that. So it should be real good. Yeah, Hell Hydra's like, yeah, no. So I am going to switch us over to science and technology. I'll switch us over to space news. So we can talk about Twitter acquisitions for 2 hours. Just kidding. And then, not really. And then we'll go from there. Let me get a jam handy on here and we'll go from there. Actually, you know what? I got one. Ta-da! All right, I'll be back in a second. I'm just going to fill up my coffee.
Titan II, the largest and most powerful ballistic missile in our arsenal. Hopefully, we'll never have to use it. However, we must be ready to launch it on a moment's notice. Maintaining this missile in a constant state of readiness is a tremendous responsibility, which requires the skill, knowledge, and dedication of many individuals working together as a team.
This is the story of a part of that team, the people who handle the propellants. They are a small but elite cadre of technicians with a job that requires an intimate knowledge of the propellant transfer system.
Be working in no loan zone.
A typical day begins at the main base, today a staging area, the assigned duties to be performed at a remote missile site somewhere in the desert. Today they will transfer propellants.
We're going to have Airman Elsie and Airman Brown will be Silo 1, Airman Moss, Airman McMillan will be Silo 2, Airman Moore will be Rifko on the blast lock, Airman Preciado, Airman Ashby will be topside on the holding trailer Team 1. Airman Gardner, Airman Birchmeyer will be topside on the holding trailer Team 2. And Airman Zosh will be Rifko topside. Are there any questions? Okay, let's get in our trucks and go.
The team must travel in convoy to the missile site. At the missile launch complex, the special trailers and lines required for propellant transfer operations are in place. It has taken the PTS team several days to move this equipment from the main base and set it up correctly here. When the convoy arrives at the site, the PTS team must penetrate site security. To do this, the team chief or assistant team chief calls the MCCC, the Missile Combat Crew Commander, who is on duty in the underground launch control center. If he receives proper identification, the MCCC releases the gate lock and the convoy enters. To maintain site security after the convoy has entered, the chief or assistant must verify that the gate is closed. At the access portal, the team chief receives permission by phone from the MCCC to enter into the entrapment area. To obtain access to the underground areas, the team chief codes in with the MCCC, using the code sheet he obtained from the codes control section on base.
Delta, code Hotel. Okay, I'll call you right back.
With his code verified, the team chief burns the code sheet before allowing the rest of the team to enter.
Okay, could I get the auto, please?
As the team enters, they descend into a rare and challenging world, the world of Titan II.
The main components of the underground launch complex are the access portal, blast lock area, control center, and missile silo. The access portal is the only entrance into the underground launch complex. The PTS team must pass through the blast lock area, which contains 3 separately controlled blast doors, then through a short cableway and into the launch control facility, where the team chief must report to the MCCC. Inside the Launch Control Center, the MCCC gives a silo entry briefing to the PTS team, site maintenance officer, and quality control representative.
Good morning, sir. We're here to unload stage 1 oxidizer.
Okay, let me give you the maintenance briefing. Function 33 will be accomplished after all actions are
The site maintenance officer, or SMO, is responsible for all maintenance performed at the site, while the quality control representative, or QC, ensures that everyone follows the appropriate technical data throughout the entire transfer operation. After the maintenance briefing, the team leaves the control center to prepare for the oxidizer transfer. The initial procedure, known as PREPS, ensures that the entire PTS system, from the topside area to level 8 in the missile silo, is ready for the propellant transfer. The entire PREPS procedure takes approximately 4 hours, and at some bases is done by a special PREPS team prior to the arrival of the PTS transfer team. During this procedure, the team follows TOs requiring them to perform such tasks as checking the electrical systems for the Stage 1 oxidizer, installing polyethylene sheeting to protect engine components beneath the fill-drain quick disconnect, and connecting the vent to the missile.
When the crew completes the preps, the PTS team chief, site maintenance officer, and the safety representative perform a safety walkthrough. Their check includes the VDAP, or vapor detector panel, in the blast lock area. Beyond this, they enter the cableway which leads to the silo. Using a checklist throughout, the crew checks each item, inspecting the entire missile complex to verify that it is ready for the propellant transfer. Among other things, they call for klaxon checks. They inspect the decontamination shower next to the blast lock, first aid equipment, sensing devices. They then pass through the long cableway escape route and into the silo. Within the silo, there are many safety checks which this team must perform.
During the safety walkthrough, other PTS team members are busy preparing for the propellant transfer. Those who must wear the rocket fuel handler's clothing outfit, or REFCO, perform a pre-dawn inspection of the suit. This involves checking the ventilation system for defects and the gloves, boots, and torso for small leaks or tears. The personal clothing and equipment technician fills the environmental control units, or ECUs, with a mixture of liquid oxygen and nitrogen, using a portable liquid air storage tank known as a DWAR. When completely full, the ECU will provide approximately 60 minutes of air for breathing and ventilation.
After the safety walkthrough, the SMO and the MCCC gather information from the wind and temperature recorders in the Launch Control Center. Both men relay this information to the base weather station, which uses it to compute the coordinates for a toxic corridor. The MCCC and SMO then use these coordinates to plot the corridors on area maps. If an accident were to occur, they would have to evacuate everyone from this corridor. Based upon the corridor they have plotted on this map, these officers can determine that weather conditions are favorable for propellant transfer. They will now notify proper base authorities and request permission to flow propellants.
Hey, we got permission to flow. Guys, ready to go? Okay, good job.
During the propellant transfer, the PTS team chief, who's responsible for the entire operation, is located topside in the control trailer. Through a radio-type maintenance net, or RTMN, he directs his personnel through the various phases of the operation, constantly maintaining communications discipline.
The SMO usually remains with the team chief in the control trailer. He is responsible for monitoring the propellant transfer and informing job control of any problems which may arise.
While the team chief and SMO are performing their duties inside the control trailer, two PTS technicians in REFCO suits monitor the oxidizer holding trailer. These technicians have two backups who are located in the protective clothing and equipment van.
During the transfer operation, the MCCC remains in the Launch Control Center. He monitors the PTS operation and informs the SMO and team chief of any significant changes in the status of the missile complex.
In the blast lock area, two of the four PTS technicians have donned their REFCOs and are proceeding to silo level 7, where they'll be making connections for the propellant transfer. The two remaining PTS personnel are backups for those working in the silo. They stay in the blast lock area with the PC&E specialist during the operation.
Ground, pressure drain disconnect, and surrounding area for foreign matter.
Roger, TC. Ground disconnect area is free for matter.
Copy. I want you to rotate the ground disconnect locking sleeve counterclockwise slowly until threads disengage.
Roger, TC. Stand by.
Personnel working in the silo must wear the REVCO to protect them from the toxic effects of the liquid or vapors which may be released during a propellant operation.
Be advised, there's a possibility of a klaxon.
Close teamwork is vital for everyone concerned because there are hazards involved in transferring missile propellants.
Roger, TC. Is disconnected.
Copy. Remove the airborne disconnect pressure cap.
Roger, stand by and remove pressure cap.
As professionals, members of the PTS team recognize the need to closely follow all safety precautions and technical orders.
Roger, TC. Pressure cap's been removed.
Install the thread protector on the pressure cap threads of the airborne disconnect.
Roger, TC. Stand by. Roger, TC. The thread protector has been installed.
Copy. Align the ground disconnect index grooves with the airborne disconnect keys. Slip the ground disconnect over the airborne disconnect and rotate it clockwise until it stops.
Roger, TC. Stand by.
With the fill drain hose now connected, the PTS technicians retract and lock the telescoping sections on the work platform. Then, a technician in the blast lock area places the switch to the open position. This allows the propellant to flow from the missile to the pump room. When the propellant reaches the pump room, it causes the system not drained indicator to light up in both the pump room and control trailer. A PTS technician in the pump room verifies this light to the team chief. Next, the team chief presses the push button activating the pump, which transfers the propellant from the pump room to the oxidizer holding trailer. Topside, two PTS technicians monitor the liquid level indicator and inform the team chief when the oxidizer has reached the holding trailer. Then they open and close the appropriate valves. Next, they perform visual leak checks of the system. Personnel in the silo area also monitor the system for leaks.
Piping and the stage 1 missile.
Roger, TC. Leak free and normal.
Copy. Leak free and normal.
When the missile tank is empty and the liquid in-line indicators are out, the technicians close the valves on the holding trailer and the switch in the blast lock area. To eliminate residual oxidizer in the stage 1 fixed piping, the technicians remove the fill drain hose from the missile and connect it to the pressure drain. Then, to remove the residual oxidizer from the missile, they connect the dead leg drain hose to the facility. Then to the missile dead leg drain connections. The propellant is now out of the missile and in the holding trailer topside. Standard procedure includes purging of tanks and lines. Missile maintenance technicians can now replace the missile tank seals, perform leak checks, and accomplish other maintenance as required. Then PTS personnel condition the propellants in preparation for loading.
Then, the SMO, QC, and MCCC calculate how much oxidizer will be required to load back into the missile. This is known as determining the rough and final load. In making these calculations, the SMO obtains the engine mixture ratio from the load sheets and the oxidizer temperature from the holding trailer. He obtains the fixed line volume from the tags and, using the TO, along with values obtained, calculates the rough load. After going through several additional procedures, the SMO computes the fine load figure. Then, both the SMO and QC consult with the MCCC, who has gone through the same procedure. Following a brief consultation, they agree on a final load figure.
When the holding trailer contains the fine load figure, PTS personnel prepare to load the missile. On-loading procedures are basically the same as those for offloading. First, a safety walkthrough. Then, obtaining permission to flow.
Permission to flow. The maintenance officer is coming topside at this time.
And positioning PTS team members in the blast lock area, holding trailer, and silo area. PTS technicians connect the fill drain hose to the missile, open the proper valves in both the holding trailer and silo, and let the oxidizer flow by gravity into the missile.
Copy, holding trailer. I want you to monitor LLI 201 and let me know when we have.
All right. So, anybody know why they need to be so careful when they're loading the propellants into a Titan?
Procedures and follow the technical orders throughout each phase of their job.
Like, why do they have to wear the Refco suits? Anybody know? See the Refco suits? Why do they need to wear a spacesuit when they're filling up the rocket?
Propellant transfer operation.
PTS operations are, you gotta be very careful.
Reflects this as the
Titan II missiles are hypergolic. You guys got it. Yep.
only way you can handle Titan II propellants
Yep.
safely.
Yep.
But never forget, the Titan II propellant system is only as safe as you are.
I didn't realize they gravity fed it into the thing. I mean, I suppose that makes sense because, you know, the missile's in the ground, you know. Oh yeah, the Damascus explosion. That was bad. God dang 8-inch socket. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah, just gravity feed it into the ground. Isn't there a video of them splashing hypergulls onto some metal? Yeah, it's around. Yeah, that's cool. You guys want to see the fueling truck for a Titan II missile? Here, check this out. It's weird looking. It is a very weird looking truck. Here you go. It looks like a brewery on wheels. But this is the kind of over-engineering that you need. See, there's the propellant transfer lines. This is the kind of over-engineering that you need to, you know, not get killed. Yep, this is at the Titan II missile silo, 571-6 in Tucson. So, just, you know, kind of just a side note here while we're talking about Titan IIs.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Hey, Gagan, 74-month resub. If you go down into Tucson here, and you go south down the road, down 19 here to Green Valley, right? There's the Titan II Missile Museum. It's actually really freaking cool. There's the fueling trailer. Do they have markings for what direction to run if a toxic cloud starts to form? Well, Soapbox, they had to check the weather conditions. In the thing, they had to check for the windage. Yeah, you don't want the wind to blow in the wrong direction. Yeah, that would end very poorly. But yep. The cool part about this, actually, fellas, is that if you look, right? If you look around Tucson, you look at Google Earth, check this out. You just look around. Now, I needed the community, Google Earth community, to help you figure it out. But if you look, let's go over here. What's number 11? Look at that. There's another one. But they're not, it's decommissioned, right? The Titan II Museum is also decommissioned. But, yeah. One of the projects I did at KSC was taking wind models and feeding them into a program that would calculate launch plumes so they knew what building to evacuate. Yep. What would happen if the missile exploded in the silo? Please hold. That. That. It happened. It makes a bigger silo if you want your silo remodeled, you know, real quick. So, a guy was in here working on the Titan II, and he was torquing down a socket, and then he put the socket down, and then he knocked the socket off, and it fell down the missile silo, and it hit the side of the Titan. What do we know about rocket fuel tanks? This, remember, it might be an ICBM that's still a liquid fuel rocket. Yeah, it went and it punched a hole in the rocket. Caused the tank to lose pressure. Lower tank, lost pressure. What happens when tanks lose pressure on the rocket? Collapses in on itself. Long story short, run. 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 Unfortunately, people did get hurt. Blew the top right off the silo. Yeah, no good. Yep. That happened in 1980. Titan II silo. Yeah. Rocket blew up in the silo. But the plus side of that, you know, if at all, is that the nuke didn't go off. Nukes don't go off with fire. They don't do that. That doesn't work that way. So, just left a nice mess of fallout. Why was he working on a fueled rocket? So the Titan IIs were always fueled all the time. First of all, hypergolic propellants, so, you know, there's no cryogenics. You don't need to worry about boil off. It only takes 58 seconds to launch the missile. Launch Titan IIs. It takes 58 seconds. They kept the hypergols in the missiles at all times. That's why they had those escape suits. I mean, but escape suit isn't going to help you if the propellants ignite, right? So during the Titan II program, you saw how careful they were. You had to be super freaking careful, or else, you know, the thing will blow up in its silo, and it did once. But it was an 8-inch socket, pretty much. Yeah, he lost his 10 mil socket. But yeah, they yeah, you got to be super careful with that stuff. They had the missiles fueled. Why would you defuel a missile if you're going to do maintenance on it? You're just asking for leaks with propellant transfer operations, right? If the fuel's in the missile, it's not going anywhere. It's not going nowhere. Just leave it there. Don't touch it, right? Iron hypergol super corrosive, not to aluminum. Yeah, he dropped the 8-inch socket down the silo tube, RB. It hit the NTO tank, and that was the couple hours later the thing blew up in the silo. Yeah. It's pretty bad. Pretty bad. But they had to keep these things fueled. They had to keep them fueled all the time. Nuclear war doesn't wait for you to fill up your rocket. That's why they have Titan IIs in the first place. And that's why they had them in the first place. They had to stay fueled. You never know when you're going to get the launch command coming in and the rocket's not fueled. You don't want to get caught with your pants down in a nuclear war. That would be bad. But fortunately, like I said, Titans, they never had to do it. And we've still never had to do it. No one's ever had to pull that trigger. And I hope that never happens. That would be very bad. You want Fallout? Because that's how you get Fallout. The universe. You're going to actually get Fallout too. It uses nitrogen tetroxide and aerozine 50, which is a hydrazine. How deep are the silos? 100 and... No. Hang on. The silo is 7 stories into the ground, man. It's a big silo. Once again, you can go see this stuff in Tucson. You can go see the museum. The museum's fantastic. I never had a chance to go. I wanted to go in 2019 when we were there. Silo is 147 feet deep. It's 15 stories. Yep. She's a biggin'. But yeah, I don't know. Thought you guys would want to see that. That's cool. Yes. So, yeah. Titan 2s. Pretty cool. Not the propellants, though. The Titan 2s went out of service by the mid-'80s. So that's the reason why these silos are all destroyed. They destroyed the silos, and they blew up the top of the... I mean, they took the missile out, obviously. They blew up the top of the missile silo and then capped it with concrete and then covered it with sand. The reason why is to show the Russians that wanted to show the Soviets that we were disarming our nuclear weapons. Nuclear explosions don't happen. See this? The F-150 Lightning is starting deliveries next week. Ford had a huge opening ceremony today, Ian. I did see it. Yeah. Yeah, they opened up... Dude, they added on to Rouge, one of my favorite auto plants. So, even on this silo, check this out. So, on the silo that they kept for the museum, they put huge cap weights. There's huge concrete slabs on the tracks for the silo to open, and they left the silo halfway open, and they clamped it in place. The reason why they did that is A, so you can see, so the Russians can see down inside of the tube, right? So you can see the missile that's in there, and B, so the silo can never open again. Yeah, they did that on purpose. Ian, I think Ford's gonna really, really change the game with the Lightning. I think they got something really good on their hands, but that's just me. But yep, pretty cool, huh? Yeah, so they could see down the tubes. It's interesting, a little bit of a modern kind of topical thing that, okay, so the Ukraine, right, got rid of all their nukes in exchange for protection, right? They got rid of all their nukes because the Soviet Union had a lot of nukes placed in Ukraine during the Cold War, and Poland for what it's worth. They had IRBMs in Poland and ICBMs in the Ukraine. All those hatches, when they disarmed the nuke, they left the hatches open, and they broke the hatches in the open position. You could still see it. If you know where to look. I don't know where any of them are off the top of my head, but the silos are they're stuck in the open position to show, so you could peep it with a satellite and make sure that they're not rearming a silo. Yeah, Mars, that didn't really end too well. Yep, but whatever. Oh, that's cool, Switchio. Nice. We should watch that during Crew 4 coverage. So, to get into space news, that'd fill up with rain, wouldn't it? Yeah. They have a sump system in them, Kentab. Most nuclear silos have a sump built into it because you literally just made a well, and you don't want your rocket being submerged. Hydraulics don't... Standing water doesn't work very well with rockets. You need to spray the water. Spraying the water is great, but yeah, no. Which rocket was the Minuteman? Minuteman is what we still use. So... The LGM-30. We use a derivative of this one. Minuteman was its own rocket. There's 1, 2, and then 3. And then the Navy has, well, they had Polaris. I'm not sure what the modern missiles are. I think we still use them. The Minuteman 2. Yo. So see, Minuteman, they switched to an all-solid rocket. So you don't have to have that whole hypergol problem. Trains! Yeah, there you go. They're at Minot, Malmstorm, and Warren. Yep. Yep. Banana rocket. So, yeah, here, you check this out. Watch this. So, the thing is that when the boosters have a life, and when they approach their shelf life, they use them for launching stuff into space. This was the NRO's L-129 mission. Watch this thing. This is fantastic. Check this thing go.
T-minus 10.
Watch how fast it goes. It's really cool, actually. I mean, if it wasn't used for something so... Like,
4,
I'd rather see it used like
3,
this. Watch.
2, 1.
Yeet!
Ignition. Liftoff of the Northrop Grumman Minotaur rocket carrying 4 L-129 spacecraft to orbit for the National Reconnaissance Office, marking 20 years of Minotaur launches and 14 years of partnership with National Wallops Flight Facility and the Mid-Atlantic Regional Spaceport.
Vehicle attitude and flight path are nominal.
Okay. I want to just emphasize this point here. You just heard the call for supersonic. Time this, okay?
Each vehicle consists of a...
Watch.
T-minus 5.
Here's what we'll do. I'll get my stopwatch out. All right? Watch this.
4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition. Liftoff of the Northrop Grumman Minotaur rocket.
Wait for that supersonic call.
129 spacecraft to orbit for the National Reconnaissance Office, marking 20 years of Minotaur launches and 14 years of partnership with National Wallops Flight Facility and the Mid-Atlantic Regional Spaceport.
Vehicle attitude and flight path are nominal. Pitch over complete.
0 to 700 miles an hour in 17 seconds. She quick. She's real quick. she real quick, man. That thing is real fast. How long does it take Falcon 9 to hit supersonic? A minute? A minute 30? She's fast, man. Very
Check
quick.
92, 93, 94,
Vehicle 80
95.
power is nominal.
How many G's is that pulling? 5,
Passing Mach
6?
2, motor pressure nominal.
Oh, Mach 2. Yeah.
T plus 36 seconds. Entering max Q. Attitude nominal.
Passing Mach 3 at maximum stage 1 thrust of over 5,000 pounds.
That thing goes fast, man. It is fast. If you were sitting on the front of this Slim Pickens style, you'd be liquid by now.
Vehicle is half original mass.
Cooling off.
Woo! See ya!
Stage 2 ignition. Stage 2 motor pressure is nominal.
Hot stage SRBs, huh? Dude, that's what we have nowadays. I believe this is the Minotaur is an MX Peacekeeper, but I'm not sure. I know we have Peacekeepers, and we only use Peacekeepers for a second, and then we're back to Minutemen. But that's what that's how you want to see an ICBM launch. It's basically what it is. Oh, you know, Mach 2. It hit Mach 2 in like 35 seconds or something. That's Mach 2 is 1,500 miles an hour. Whatever. It's no problem. 2.6 TWR. It goes, Cantab. It real goes. It goes hard. And that ICBM right there was 30 years old at the time. I remember when that thing launched. It goes fast. That's what we're using nowadays. And she goes. She goes hard. Real hard. I'm more concerned that I live near these things. That will probably be a target if the crap hits the fan. Yeah. But see, that's the thing, Twix. Playing nuclear war. Here's the thing. You either want to be out in the sticks, completely away from everybody, or you want to be as close to the city as possible. Because everywhere in between is going to have a really bad day. Yeah. If you're in the city, you're going to get obliterated anyway. You don't need to worry about that. You don't need to worry about it. You're not even going to feel it. Just smile for the flash and you're good to go. Right? If you're out in the sticks, like way out in the sticks, like in a national park or something, all right? You're just going to sit there with your popcorn and watch the fireworks, and I hope you have a fallout shelter or something, right? So it's like you either want to be really in the city or really far away from the city. Anything in between, you're going to survive and get obliterated by fallout pretty quick. And then acid rain and all this other fun stuff. So yeah, you don't really want to be in the you don't want to be in the suburbs. Bad idea. But you don't want to be in the suburbs. That you have to deal with all the fun. So, if that doesn't sound appeasing at all, that doesn't sound fun, yeah, how about we just don't do that nuclear war thing? That would probably be a good idea. Yeah, it's a different Minotaur, Kev. That was a Minotaur 5, I think. The L111 launch. Or that one's a Minotaur 4. What we just watched was Minotaur 5. What is it if you're underground, though? Well, the only way to win is not to play. Strange game, Professor Falcon. T-Man, I hope you have a lot of ground underneath you. Because, all right, if you're near... All right, here, let me show you. So there's different types. I've been reading up on ICBMs just because I realized I don't know much about them. That's been my kind of side project here. So ICBMs can do two things. You have air burst or ground burst. In the Yucca Flats out in Nevada, where they tested a lot of nukes, it's actually near Groom Lake. The Yucca Flats are out here. Where are they? There's Groom. Here we go. All right, so they did a lot of nuke testing out here, and this is how they figured this stuff out. Right? You could pretty clearly see where they where nukes have been detonated, but right at the very top of this, yeah. Okay, see this one right here? See that? That's not a meteor crater. What they did was they drilled a hole and they dropped the nuke down the hole. It ran away and then blew it up. And basically the ground burst style nukes kinetically blow up basically at the ground. They hit the ground and they explode like a regular bomb. Okay? Now you see that? It's gonna basically do that. The nuclear blast will get so hot and so ridiculous, it's so hot and so energetic, it'll just obliterate the ground next to it. You will make a crater if it hits the ground and explodes. Okay? So if you're in a bunker, you better hope it's pretty deep. Now, that one was a tiny nuke. Okay? A bunker buster from a 9 kiloton warhead would be like this. It would be the size of that road right there. You see that? It would be way, way bigger. Now, they did this under the guise of we can use nukes to mine things. Yeah, okay. Use it for mining. Yeah, it's not really how that works. Now, couple that with an airburst nuke. So, airburst nukes are... would blow up at about this altitude. They would blow up about 15,000 feet off the ground, right? And if you have a 10 kiloton warhead that blows up 15,000 feet off the ground, you're talking about basically the nuke blows up and then it hits the ground. It explodes in that direction. It is a directional thing. Instead of blowing up and exploding out, it explodes at the target. And it hits it like a shotgun shell of nuclear blast. So you blow up above the ground, it lays a nice cone of nuclear fire basically in every direction. The mushroom cloud basically gets thrown at whatever it's trying to hit. So, and whatever that pressure wave from a nuclear blast hits literally will vaporize. Just, bye-bye. Yeah, and there will be nothing but an empty field. Yeah. It's crazy. I'm like, yeah, more and more I read about this, the more I'm like, yeah, how about we don't do that? So, thermobaric nukes are already inherently thermobaric because of the pressure that they give off. Louisa, you got to remember, with a thermobaric weapon, it's not necessarily about the munition, it's about the pressure wave that it leaves. Nuclear goes way above a thermobaric, but thermobaric weapons have a similar kind of pressure detonation wave. And that pressure detonation wave does something similar to what the nuke does. But see, The nuke just keeps that heat going. Yeah, it's like 10,000 degrees or something. Yeah, dude, it's scary stuff. Just leave it there, Sebi. Yeah, so like that airburst nuke is what's going to hit a city, and the ground burst nukes are what's going to hit anywhere like a strategic target, right? So, yeah, so that's what I mean. If you're near the cities and you're within the envelope of the airburst, you're not going to feel nothing. You ain't going to feel nothing. You'll be fine. Not really, but yeah. You know, it's the people that are on the outskirts of the city that are going to have a really bad day. But yeah, War Games had it right. The movie War Games. You should watch War Games. It's a great movie about nuclear war. Yeah, let's just not do that. How about we don't do that? Yeah, let's just use the rockets to do stuff like this. Use rockets to do stuff like that, or like that, or like that one over there, or even these over here. Yeah, that is a much better use for rockets. Yeah. Yeah, but I have been, like I said, I've been reading up on ICBMs. The procedures are so strict. You don't, like, it's kind of cool. You do not screw around with those things. And, like, I actually appreciate that, like, how hardcore and well thought out the rules are. Think about it for a second. Think about, like, the missileers, the people that have to launch these things if something goes wrong. You know, well, not something goes wrong, like if you have to launch it, like it's so compartmentalized and so it's like the UX is foolproof with a nuclear weapon. You cannot screw it up. Like it is literally impossible to like launch the thing with like one person. Like you can't do it with one person. You have to have two people to launch. Yeah, it's crazy. The systems that they have in place to prevent that thing from launching, but also be able to launch it in a minute's notice is actually really cool. It's super interesting stuff. You know what I realized about them? Once a big red button gets pushed, it's actually not a button. It's keys to start the auto sequencer, Reaper. At least it is on Titan. I don't know what it is now. It could be a button. Who knows? There's no going back. There's no self-destruct. There's no oops. Yep. Yeah, that's why you got to be careful. Yeah, pretty much, Rolani. Yep. Demon Core. Bautista, you've linked me to Demon Core before. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, they usually have two keys to start the auto sequencer, and they're more than like arm's length reach apart from each other. So like one guy has to stand on one side of the LCC and the other guy has to stand on the other side. You have to turn them at the same time. No one person can set it off. And once again, I'm speaking to Titan because that's what I've been reading about. They have a guy sitting in a chair, the commander, and then they have the deputy commander to his left, or her left. There's a key on the commander's console, and then there's a key over by the short band radios, kind of. And those keys both have to be turned at the same time. And not only do they both have to be turned at the same time, you actually have to open up the pre-valves on the Titan. If you don't open the pre-valves, it's not going to work. You could have the right, you could turn it and try to start the auto sequencer and it's not going to do anything. Because, believe it or not, their safety system was the pre-valves. It wasn't turning the engines on. It wasn't anything like the turbo pumps or whatever. The pre-valves that allow like thermal conditioning, basically they couldn't prime the engines. The launch code for Titan 2s is not, in fact, a code to launch the vehicle. It's a code to open the pre-valves, which is very interesting. I didn't know that. Yeah, you got to turn it and hold it until both of them sync up, and then it'll start the auto sequencer, and then that's it. Then you just sit back and watch. It's actually super interesting, except for the whole, killing millions of people part. Yeah, it's really interesting. Like how, the checks and balances and the thought that they had to go through to even get into the silo. I would suggest reading about it or going to that Titan Museum and getting the tour. If you could get your hands on a launch silo, would you convert it back into a launch pad? Hell no. That's how you get people showing up and being like, yeah, you should stop. No. Man cave. Yeah, man cave. got the same code on my luggage. Yeah, but it only takes one person to send the command to the SAC crew. That's right. Yep. Guy sitting in the White House. Launching Estes rocket inside of it. And you launch it at the bottom of the silo, it goes up, and then it stops and lands up on the dirt up there. You don't even need the parachute. Just, you know. Yeah, no, you can't mess, like, you can't make them back into silos. They'll get mad at you if you do that. But yeah, I mean, there are Titan II missile silos that are for sale. They're in Kansas, Arkansas, and Arizona. They're around. You can buy them. I'm not sure what you're going to do with them. It's cool to have a bunker, though. That's kind of neat. There's an Airbnb in an old silo. Well, that's an Atlas silo, B-Money. It's not a Titan. Titan is the one, like... So Titan silos, when you think about them, are like... The Titan II silo is like missile silo. Like the missile launches up out. With an Atlas D and an Atlas F silo, they actually had that Atlas rocket in a in an erector, right? And then they had doors that open up like this, and then the thing goes vertical, and then they fuel it and they launch it. The Titan 1, or I think an Atlas C or something, Titan 1 silos actually have the missile stays in the silo, right? And then it's on, the whole launch pad is on an elevator. And they move it up, they open up the silo, they move her up out of the silo, and then they launch it. And they fuel it while it's going up, which is actually really cool. It's really neat. At least I think they fuel it while it's moving, but yeah.
Discovery, go and throttle.
Hey, Arizona, 2-month resub. Yeah, Nikes do the same thing. The Nike missiles go, they're stored horizontally, and then the doors open up and whoop, you know? Yeah, it's actually, it's super interesting, all the ideas that they came up with. The whole point was to try to get it done quick. Get it done quick. Don't sit there for 15 minutes fueling the stupid vehicle up. Because if you sit there for 15 minutes and fuel the stupid vehicle up, you're going to get obliterated before your vehicle even launches. That's why stuff like Soyuz, Titan, Atlas, Proton, they were all designed as ICBMs at the early part of the in the early late 50s, early 60s, and then everyone figured out that using cryogenic propellants is stupid. You got to use something else. So the Russians tried going with hypergalls with more of their rockets, and then solids eventually, and then we switched to hypergalls and then to solids by the 70s. Oh, that's terribly cursed, T-Man. Yeah, Ponzister, that's cool. That's pretty neat. The silos are around. You can buy them. What about those hypersonic missiles? You could put them on ICBMs, Luizo. They're just BOR-4. I don't know why everybody's making a big deal out of those things. You remember BOR-4? What the, like, here, look. BOR-4 was a Russian hypersonic test article, or Soviet hypersonic test article. What do you think that's supposed to be? It's not supposed to be Dream Chaser, that's for sure. And Proton was developed to loft Tsar Bomba. What an insane purpose. Yeah, I mean, Titan, yeah, exactly. Titan was used to launch the W-56, which is our biggest warhead. 10 kiloton warhead. It's like 600 times Hiroshima, which is just... Alright. Yeah, how about we don't do that? How about we never use that ever? Bruh, 95, what's up? Not kiloton, megatons. Yeah, that's right. Everything is made to destroy. It's kind of sucks, Kem, when you think about it. It's like, oh, really? We made Dream Chaser because we wanted a hypersonic? Damn it! Oh, can't you just come up with your own idea? Something that's not weapon derived for a change, for frick's sake? It gets annoying at times, dude. It's like, oh, Hubble, yeah, we built that because we want to focus on understanding the universe. No, it's just a spy satellite modified, placed backwards. It's like, oh, okay, sure, why not? Everything's derived from weapons. Damn it! Rule 34 of acquisition. War is good for business. Yeah, Rule 30. Yeah, okay. Focus, yeah, right? Yeah, it's actually really, it's like scary stuff, man. But it's very fascinating. But it's also really freaking scary. Yeah, whatever. If we, I don't mind getting the pieces of it. But hey, let's look at it this way. Falcon 9. Falcon 9 was not designed to be a weapon system. It was designed to just be a rocket. A launch vehicle. So Falcon 9 is an all-civilian rocket, which is pretty cool. That's pretty neat. That's pretty good. No exceptions, Meeps. Why do you think rockets are shaped the way that they are? Obviously. Duh. Wait. This got weird. All right. I'm changing the subject. Ah! All right. So, we got Crew 4 coming. Coverage should start in about 5 hours, give or take. Coverage begins around midnight. I'm going to be here for it. We're going to be here for the duration, so we got plenty of stream left. Oh, boy. Did you see the Humble Bundle link I put in the aerospace section of Discord? Nope. Do you know why the U.S. did the U.S. use floppy disk for a long time? Reliability? Hooded, you can't hack a floppy disk. Straight up. Can't hack a floppy disk. Damn it! What a Freudian slip that was. You can't hack a floppy disk if you keep it in the cabinet the entire time, right? You keep it in the cabinet the entire time. It's never gonna. Nobody's gonna hack that. So, like, if you have your avionics, your guidance system, keep it on a floppy disk. Don't keep it in a computer that's connected to the grid. So, if you, like, for instance, I'm making this up, but like, if you get the command to launch, right? Oh, okay. You have a lock and a pick that's inside of an armored silo that no one's gonna get into. You keep the floppy disk on that. In the safe, right? You open up the safe, then you put the floppy disk in. And if anyone wants to take that code at that point, go ahead. Rocket's already on its way. You're gonna hack a launch code for like 2 seconds, and then you're going to meet your maker. That's why they still use those. It makes perfect sense. Titan II missiles, well into the 80s, when they were decommissioning them, used ribbon, like a Scantron. Seriously, remember taking those multiple choice tests, and then putting it. Paper. Can't hack a piece of paper. Elon tweet. Alright. It's actually pretty damn smart. It's pretty smart when you think about it. Yeah, they should keep using it. Well, Hellfish, I don't know about you. If I had some information, some digital information I didn't want anybody to get, I'd keep it on a floppy disk. No one's going to get it that way. I mean, the best thing is to just have a computer that's not connected to the internet, because a closed-loop computer system or a local area network is next to impossible to hack.
Discovery, go and throttle up.
Like, you can't. I mean, I'm sure there's ways if you're next to it, right? Like. Air gap. Yep. Any cybersecurity people out there know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so, yeah, I like the chess battle of, like, the user experience for nuclear weapons. I think that's really cool. How they have all this different, like, there's all these safeguards and stuff in the design to make sure that nobody does anything dumb, which is, I mean, and even then, Murphy's Law, but still. It's like all the craziness of rocket science, right? Like, all the craziness of launching a vehicle, only, the end result is usually what you don't want. But it's still really interesting to me. It's super, super interesting. Like, there's a bunch of videos out on YouTube, if you can't get near Tucson, Arizona, of the tours for that Titan II silo. It's very interesting stuff. Yeah, it's really super interesting. Yeah. And that kind of got me on a cybersecurity kick. I'm like, huh. Oh, this is cool. I see why people like doing this. And also, you make a lot of money. But, yeah, designing cybersecurity systems, that's cool. I think that's really neat. Because, like, rockets have the ultimate cybersecurity system. Like, you don't want to get too crazy. All right, so let's talk about rocket engines. Speaking of that, also those pre-valves, the pre-valves that I was talking about for the Titan II, you need the launch codes. I've hugged one, by the way. Just thought I'd let you know. Just EJ's flex of the day. Also, I appreciate how those rockets must never fail. 100% reliability. Oh yeah, Swish. In the 60s, 70s, and 80s here in the U.S., if you failed, I was reading about this too. If you failed in operational readiness, you were instantly like fired. Like if they gave you a launch code, and you're like, oh, we have to scrub our Titan II launch, even though it's practice. Bye-bye. Nope. Put somebody else in. You need to go back. You need to go learn how to train it. Instant demotion. It would be like if you were like senior year in high school and you failed the final exam starting back at like freshman year. Like that's how strict they were. Oh, nope. Go train again. Nope, didn't get it right. Yeah, those pre-valves are about the size of a basketball. They're about this big. Really cool, actually. It's just a butterfly valve like on a carburetor, but way bigger and designed to move rockets. Why, Agakash? Because in a nuclear war, you don't want to scrub the launch when somebody launches nukes at you. Because then they're going to live and you are not. What if it was the rocket's fault, though? Why was it the rocket's fault? Yep, weekly psych evaluations. Yeah, I was reading about that too. Yep, very interesting stuff. They had to go talk to shrinks. You know, the shrink had to be like, are you ready to pull the trigger? Yeah, I'm good. Okay. Oh, nice, 9L. There you go. Manufacturing error? You don't think they would have static fired their ICBMs to make sure that they work? Sorry, we're waiting on the FAA before launch. Oof. All right. Anyway, let's talk rocket engines. Tori Bruno tweeted this today. Take a look. Engines. Vulcan B4s head to the build stand. Oh yeah, baby. Where are my engines, Jeff? There are my engines, Jeff. Oh, hell yeah. Now, a couple of things that I'm noticing, all right? These BE-4s are missing parts. Still building, no plumbing whatsoever. What about that one? What about that one that's in the cell right there, Vasya? There's a fully assembled BE-4 sitting in that cell behind the picture. See that? These are, so we have various states of manufacturing, and we have, from what I can tell here, there's multiple engine testing in building cells. So Vasya, you remember like when we looked at Unorgomash, right? They have just lines of these things, right? In each cell, and they just, send one guy, okay, you attach this part, go to the next one. You attach this part, go to the next one. So it looks like they have multiple cells here. Meaning a lot of BE-4s are about to come around. BE-4s are gigantic. They're about the same size as a shuttle motor. They're very big engines. We have multiple engine cells here. Like there's another installation stand over here. That one has a rocket engine in it and they're working on it right now. Yeah, see the toolboxes and the trash can? These things are big. BE-4s are big motors, but we've got production motors. There they are. 3 of them in various states of production here, which is pretty awesome, dude. That's pretty awesome. The computer screen in the background supposedly says January. How in frick's name can you even tell that, Ian? So, the way these things are staged, guys, I'm thinking mass production here. And that, I mean, obviously, it doesn't take a genius to figure that one out because of all the, doesn't take a genius to figure that one out because of all the, what's the word? All the contracts that they have for a lot of Vulcan engines. So, Tori Bruno tweeted that one out today. Flight BE-4s heading to the build stand. We all know they still don't work. No, Thousands of seconds of runtime, full throttle range, dozens of starts, performing better than my expectations. Scotty, you got ratioed by Tori Bruno. Freaking destroyed, nuked from orbit with a Titan II, pre-valves open, baby. No, Scotty, you fell just nuked from orbit by the CEO of ULA. Man, that must feel bad. Just take the L and run. Oh my goodness. Scotty's like, all right. Emotional damage. Oh my goodness. All right, what else do we got? What else? What is this? Where are my engines, Jeff? They're in the picture. Oh, man. Cope Seeds plus stay mad. I'm going to miss using this meme. Where are my engines, Jeff? Summer. Where are my engines? They're in the picture. It's Twitter. Who cares? I'm sorry. It's funny to me. No, dude, a lot of BE4s coming in the pipe. You're going to see Vulcan come together a lot faster now. They were doing parallel testing with the BE4s, meaning that they had qualification engines, and they were firing the qualification engines, like, from what I understand, Blue were firing them a lot. They did a lot of testing with that dang BE4. That's why they've been so quiet, right? And now that this Amazon deal came out, they're going to be, obviously that means that the engines are ready to go. So they were simultaneously building the engines while they were testing it. It's called parallel production, right? So they were manufacturing the components of the engine that they know were going to work just fine. And, once the other engines were qualified and ready to go, now they started putting them together. So they already started producing certain parts of the thing that they knew were good to go. At least that's what I think is going on. And now we're just going to see BE4s just get popped out all over the place. Now, this guy even deleted his tweet. Why would you? It's okay to love more than one rocket. Yeah, that brings me to my next point. Elon posted this today, and I'm pretty damn sure that this was on purpose. Right? Oh, they're posting pictures of the motors? So am I. Oh. Nino, is it true that if the Earth was 10 to 15% bigger, we would never be able to launch anything into space? No, we could. We'd need a much higher TWR rocket, but... Oh. That's nice. They're Raptor 2s. Look at Raptor 2 rocket engines at Starbase. He's producing 230 tons of force, so 2,300 kilonewtons per engine, which is... What do you call a collective noun for so many engines? Yeet? That is a nice yeet of engines. Yeah, and the brewery in the background. Yeah. A flock of raptors. Yes, that is a nice yeet of rocket engines. Raptors, they do move in herds. They move around in flocks to avoid a predator. Dun 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 dun. Anyway, I'm with yeet. Yeah, that is a nice yeet of rocket engines. Yes, it's a very, very nice yeet. You can see which are boost engines and which are gimbally boys. Gimbally boys, another technical term. Because they have the extra hardware installed. Yep. Oh, that's nice. Kettle is the word for a flock of birds of prey. Oh. Can we call him a yeetle? Kettle, flock of raptors, yeetle. But see, that's a flock of raptors. What about a flock of BE4s? See, we need to have a term for everything. So I'm gonna go with a yeet. That is a nice yeet of rockets. Nice picture from the owner of Twitter. Yeah. Yeah, it is. Dude. It's a killer feed of rockets. Dude, that's a lot of raptors, man. I can't... How do they make so many? How do they make so many of these damn things? Like... Remember when we saw, like, there was, like, a lot of Raptor 1s, and we were like, oh, and there was only, like, 9 of them? There's, like, 18 Raptor 2s in this picture. They cloned them? Well, yeah, of course. Raptors are nearing BE4 thrust. They will probably hit 2400 sooner rather than later. It's crazy, man. Dude, I can't believe that. Like, what are the odds that these would both get tweeted on the same day? I mean, these are both... This is both a lot of rocket engines, man. Like, it's a lot of rocket engines. Jeez. I mean, how much thrust do we see in this picture? 2,300 kilonewtons per, and how many are here? 17, 18, something like that. So let's do some quick maths, right? Let's do some quick maths out. 17 times 2,300. Guys, I have a new unit of measurement that we can use. This group of rocket engines, that's at least one Saturn V of rocket engines in terms of thrust. Yep. 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 That's 39.1 meganewtons of thrust. That's enough. Dude, what you see on the screen is enough to move a Saturn V up, fully fueled. One Saturn V is a standard yeet. That's right. So that means one yeet. In order to have one yeet, you need to have all the rocket engines in the picture need to equal about 35 meganewtons, or about 7.5 million pounds of thrust. That is one yeet. That's a technical term. Okay. SLS has 1.1 yeet. Yep. Yep. Technical term. So Super Heavy will have at least 2 yeets. Yep. Yeah, that's right. There, 2 what? 2 yeets? What is a yeet? Yep. Yep. How many Raptors do you need to reach 1 giga yeet? 1,800. Giga yeet! You gotta say it with the voice cry. Yeet! The 2 yeets. 2 what? What is a yeet? A yeet yeet? A jigga yeet. Yes, yeah, that is our new technical term, a jigga yeet. Seriously though, that's a lot of rocket engines, man. I can't believe this. I can't believe that. It still blows my mind that this is going on. This is going on. I mean, SLS did roll back. We'll talk more about that later. But we have something like SLS being built. We have something like Starship being built. And something like New Glenn and Vulcan being built at the same time. We quite literally have 2 rockets that are equal to capability as the Saturn V. One of them being fully reusable. Starship. And then we have New Glenn, which is almost a Saturn V. And then you have Vulcan on top of that, which is like a Saturn 1B. It's... There... How many yeets? All the yeets in that picture. That's... Dude, in another 3 to 4 years, we're going to have so many rockets, we won't even know what to do with them. No, we will, but also, man, and like I said, fellas, you know, Vulcan and New Glenn are not, those ain't no slouch, man. Those rockets ain't no slouches, dude. Like, look at, here, check, yeah, let me find an updated picture, an updated comparison picture. Yeah, you know what? This will work. So, New Glenn over here, the 3-stage variant is pretty much where we're at right now. That's what the last known version of New Glenn was. Look at it compared to the Saturn V. It's not a Saturn V, but it's almost as big as the Saturn V. Now, Starship would be up here somewhere, and Vulcan is down here. You want to know what the craziest part about this is? Vulcan in its heavy configuration, if you look at it, it can move the same as a Delta IV Heavy. It can move more than this. This little guy moves more than that thing. So, despite size, in terms of payload capacity, Vulcan's over here somewhere. I mean, Falcon Heavy is also over here. It would be like Falcon 9, Delta IV Heavy, Vulcan, Falcon Heavy, New Glenn, Saturn V, Starship. And then SLS would be before Saturn V and Starship. It's methane in the first stage, hydrogen in the second stage. Yeah, look at that. It's big, man. It's very big. That's a very big rocket. And that's what the, you know, we're seeing flight engines and flight hardware. Flight hardware is always, or engines are always the long lead items. That's always the thing that takes the most amount of time because they're complicated. So we should start seeing Vulcan and New Glenn come together very, very, very quickly. Like I said, there's probably a reason why Blue Origin is out with their Pathfinder, out and about with their Pathfinder right now. Updated? Yeah, there you go. Jeez. That, dude. You see every single rocket on this list? There is quite distinctly a point in the future where every single rocket here on this list will be flying. And if they aren't flying, their successor will be. Except for the Saturn V. Saturn V is the only one that won't be. But SLS is basically a little bit more powerful version of the Saturn V, which is crazy to me. Crazy. Dude, we got engines popping out of the woodwork left and right. Atlas and Vulcan will have a lot of overlap, Creeper. Atlas is going to be flying for a little while. Antares, I'm not 100% sure on what's going to happen with that thing. But, yep, it's crazy, huh? Absolutely insane. This has also prompted many crap posts. One by Gav here. You versus the engine she told you not to worry about. Oof. 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 Pretty crazy, right? So much stuff. So, yep, that's what's going on with engines. Check this out. Boring Company, after a long time just of nothing, and they're, okay, tweeted this. Hyperloop testing at full scale begins later this year. GSLV Axiom should be enough to move a decent station. Yeah. Hyperloop testing at full scale begins this year. I'll be honest, I didn't realize that was still a thing. I didn't realize that was still a thing. I guess it is. And I guess they're going to start full scale testing. All right. Yeah, I mean, that's not a bad thing. Sure. You know, I like trains. I like trains that go fast. Hyperloop are trains that go fast. We like that. You went over my helmet? No, not over, sir. More to the side. Huh. Okay. So, SLS did roll back into the VAB. They encountered a couple of problems, some with nitrogen suppliers, some with hydrogen valves. So they did roll back into the VAB last night. It did not take 11 hours. They did it relatively quick. 11 hours was just for the first try. So they're gonna bring that in there, and they're gonna work on SLS. Now, depending on the severity of like the problems and what needs to be changed, it might be a little bit before that thing launches. It's gonna be a second. Buckle up for some of this. So, I mean, once again, they got to take their time with that stuff. There's really not much you can do about it. Zay, what is this? What is this cursed rocket for the day? You have 5.5 segment carbon composite SRBs. I like that part. And it looks like a 5-engine SLS core right there. Oh, no, it's just 4. You have the EUS on top of that. I still like it. ICBS on top of that. Okay. A Centaur on top of that, and then a caster kickstage, and nothing, Sebby. I mean, if you want to send a shoebox to Pluto, that's probably the way to do it. Entitled spacecraft, but shuttle derived. Yep. I fail to see the problem here. I mean, no, say that's not really cursed at all. It's not really a cursed rocket at all. That's, yeah, if we're trying to send a probe to Pluto, that's a really good case, really good use case for it. I mean, so, yeah. All right, next bit of space news here is coming from ULA again. If we take a look here, the dual-engine Centaur was hoisted atop Atlas V for ULA's 150th mission. The rocket is ready to begin pre-flight testing ahead of liftoff. We got a dual-engine Centaur here.
Discovery.
Hey, Vulcan. Good evening, Mr. EJ. How goes it? It goes good, man. Yep, there we go. Oh, yeah. This, once they get that up there, it will complete the N-22 stack. We just need a spacecraft. Boeing proposed it as an idea for pathways for SLS, RJ. It's doable. ICPS, you already have the adapter for it. So an EUS with the LVSA on top of it. And then an ICPS on top of that. And then a Delta IV fairing on top of that with a caster inside. It's already been proposed. I think they'll get it right this time, Hellfish. There we go. Got another Starliner. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I saw something. Okay. So look at this. Look at this first picture here. Yep, there's Starliner's payload attachment fitting. So the first picture, guys, has Atlas V's mobile launcher inside of the vehicle integration facility, or VIF for short. There's a mobile launcher sitting inside the VIF. Now look at this picture of Centaur being moved. What's that? What's that over there? Uh-oh. Looks like, huh. Well, that's interesting. It looks like Vulcan's mobile launcher is sitting out on Slick 41 right there. Another interesting thing to note, Vulcan, yeah, that's a great picture. Look at the crew access arm. You see what I'm seeing there? Huh. It could mean nothing. They could be testing the CAA for the OFT mission. But also, the CAA is out with the Vulcan mobile launcher on it. I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying. I have no point to prove here. The crew access arm is open with a Vulcan ML on the pad. I'm just saying. Devlin's like, hey, I've seen that pad in person now. Oh yeah, how's your vacation, man? Pretty good? Is Vulcan Starliner not already confirmed? I don't think so. That's just a little bit of an interesting thing right there. The CAA is open with the... Yeah, it's funny how that works. Vacation. yeah, your vacation. Obviously, you were working remote. Okay, you were working remote. Yeah, there's no confirmation. I think Vulcan will be crew rated, but I don't know if they ever thought about putting a Starliner on top of there. Check your DIMS. Yeah, nice. Vulcan Dream Chaser for late load. I don't know. Starliner, Dream Chaser, you guys pick. Maybe both, maybe one, maybe the other. Who knows? Well, no, we know that one of the first launches is going to be Dream Chaser, so they're probably doing it with that. I mean, it's probably that, but also it could be with Starliner. The point is that the CAA is out with the Vulcan lander on it. That's cool. Maybe Orion? Yeah, no, it's not Orion. Orion might be able to integrate. Orion, it's possible. I mean, I don't know. If Vulcan's upper stage is using a similar flange as the DCSS, then it's possible. Because we know Orion can launch on Delta 4 if you'd have no use for it on a Delta 4, but it could. It has been out for a little bit.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Yeah. Interesting. Would Vulcan plus Orion be like Ares 1? Vulcan's biggest version could put an Orion. Vulcan Heavy could put an Orion into space, no problem. I mean, send all the crews, bottom text. Yeah, it's possible. Yeah. Pretty cool, though. Dual mobile launchers. Now we're talking. Vulcan VC6 is more powerful than Ares 1. Okay, all right. That's all good, Vulcan, and I'm gonna let you finish, okay? That's all good. One milk stool Vulcan from 39B. What? Don't look at me like that. No. You what? You don't want that? No, shut up. You definitely do. One milk stool, Vulcan. One milk stool. Stop looking at me like that. I can feel your judgment through the... Wrong fuels? I don't want to hear excuses, Gaw. Need. Or finally finish 39C. One Vulcan on SLS. What do you mean? Interesting, Vulcan. OLM is Milkstool 2.0. You can't say specifics. You don't need to say that part. Don't Eric Berger me, Vulcan. Just say I think this might be what they do. Okay? Don't Eric Berger me. I'll slap you. I know where you live. Do I? No. No, I can figure... Wait, no. Don't say that, all right? Where would we put a second launcher on this thing, though, if we were going to do that, Volk? Where would that end up? Do you think they would go make a straight pass-through and put a second pad over here? Wouldn't that be something? They just built another flame trench over here? You think that would be what they do? I mean, fellas, before you say now they'd never do that, this part was originally for Titan's mobile service tower, so this is designed to handle a heavy load, which is interesting. Not a second pad mount, a second mobile structure. The second Vulcan mobile launcher? Yeah, of course they're building 2 of those. We knew that already. They're going to build another VIF right here. Or, well, I don't know if it's going to be right there. It probably is going to end up over here. But, yeah, trains. Who knows? Where would they build this? We know they're going to build a second one of these. And then they're going to build another mobile launcher, right? Where would that end up? I mean, they got spots to build right there. You could build it right there if you want to. Vulcan's original ML is inside of this Space Operations Center, right? They'll have 3 VIFs in total, VIF 1, VIF 2, and Spock. Left field question. Can any of the older launch stages be able to be modified for reusability? Which launch vehicle? Did you have any particular one in mind? But also, you could do that. You could have this thing roll all the way through and build another flame trench over there. But you'd have to make sure, like, the flame trench would have to be going this way, because there's a LOX tank in the way there. This is from 2010. Oh, that would be so tense, dude. Oh, that would be awesome. Nice, so forth. That would be really cool. Slick 41 is about to get very overpowered. So, yeah, they're just probably gonna build the second VIF right here. Take out the Trackmobile maintenance house right there, move that around somewhere else, and go from there. Okay, all right. You know what? New plan. Frick all this. Bring back the Titan VAB. Frick all that. Bring the Titan VAB back. All right? All right? As long as we're... fine. If you won't give me Vulcan on Milk Stool, all right? If we're not getting Vulcan on Milk Stool, I want the Titan VAB back. Spock is VIF 2, yeah. No, Ian, they said they're going to have Spock VIF 1 and VIF 2. They're going to have 3 things. 2 for Vulcan, 1 for Atlas. No joke. Yeah. Dude, I'm telling you, that Amazon launch contract, 38 Vulcan launches... Tori Bruno the other day at the Space Symposium was like, yeah, we're doing reuse. Yeah, we're doing that. We need to bring back the Titan VAB, okay? If we can't have Milk Stool, the Titan Vehicle Assembly Building. Now, NASA's VAB was big. Don't get me wrong. NASA's VAB was gigantic. But Titan's VAB was almost as big. Take a look. And it was a little bit different. All the high bays were facing one direction. Just like that. Oh no. They meant 2 Vulcan MLs and 1 Atlas ML. VIF can process Atlas or Vulcan, and Spock can see a full stack Vulcan. Interesting. It's smart reuse, Rocket Guy. Yeah, they're gonna ditch the BE4s, yeet them off the back. But yeah, can we bring back the Titan VAB? They demolished it because it had no use. But man, that would be looking good right now. Look at Titan VAB. Look, you don't want, look at him. Look at that. Pretty, all in a row. Doesn't that sound nice? And you know what? You know what? If we're going to do that, I got an even better idea. Okay? I got an even better idea. This thing that I'm about to show you is just sitting down the road. Okay? This thing is just sitting down the road at the Air Force Museum. Why don't we go? We get this. Okay? We get this, right? And we take that and we bring it back over, and they start using the Alco. All right? Because trains. Okay? Screw trackmobiles. Trackmobiles are dumb. All right? Alco switchers. Okay? Reject modernity. Embrace tradition. Okay? That's a good idea. That's a good idea. We should do that. Yeah, you didn't realize you wanted an Air Force train, did you? You didn't realize you wanted a space train until now, okay? You want a space train, don't you? Yes, you do. Yes, you did. Yes, you do. Yes, you did, Red. I gotta find a bigger picture of it. Hold on. I gotta find a picture. Find the picture. Relax. Chat, shut up. I gotta find a picture. Look. Here we go. You didn't realize you wanted that until now. Twins, Basil. Twins, hello. That's them getting rid of it, and that's unfortunate. KSC needs a TGV. No, I'll take the 2 Alco switchers with the deuce and a half. Yeah, I'll take the 2 Alco switchers with the deuce and a Titan 3 behind it. Thank you very much. I know, Obsure. I know, man. Look at, see this? Can we ask Tory Bruno? Can we like say screw the trackmobiles and use these instead? Because Alco switchers? Like, no? It's sexy. People like it. That would actually be super. That building would be super useful right now. Just saying. That's what the old Titan II ITL complex used to be like. This was all one complex like 39A. You had 4 VABs, 4 mobile launchers, right? Titan parts could get delivered via truck. You could bring them in via train. Segmented SRBs were stacked in the solid rocket motor assembly facility, so the SMARF, if they needed them, right? That's what these 2 bays are for on the sides, for putting the SRBs on. You'd stack the Titan over here, right? First stage, second stage. Bring it over here. Attach the SRBs. They'd assemble them in there and bring them in on carts if they needed to. And then you could go to pad 40 or pad 41, and each one of these pads had a mobile service tower for vertical integration. Okay, these trains are nice, but I dig the look of the transport trains that are there now. Those are stupid trackmobiles. No. Look at this little dinky thing. What are you supposed to do with that? What's wrong with you? What are you supposed to do with that? This little dinky orange thing? It's a stupid trackmobile. Those are dumb. Like, look. That's literally what it's called. It's called a trackmobile. Yeah. It's basically a modern-day switcher locomotive. It's basically a forklift with wheels. What? No. What are you supposed to do with it? I don't know. Move a whole mobile launcher? No, the RSDs could move a bigger mobile launcher. You don't understand. No. You don't understand. Von Zister. See that? See the switcher locomotive? Like, look. You needed 2 of these. Okay? You know why you needed 2 of these? Okay? You know why? Because solid rocket motors. This thing's heavy. That's why they needed 2 of them. Solid rocket motor. So Big Boy? I actually think the Big Boy might be a little too much. The Big Boy could pull the entire ML probably by itself. Yeah. It's freaking embarrassing whoever said they like those. Yeah. Yeah. Look at these Chad tier switcher locomotives. They're Alco switchers, man. Okay, all right. Let me put it to you like this. You know those Alco 251Cs that are inside of the crawler transporter? The two of them? Alco, operative word. Alco switcher. You picking up what I'm laying down here? 2 of those things are as powerful as the crawler transporter. You don't understand. We need to move bigger rockets. No treads. Okay, I mean, all right, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair, but also... Dude, these things are just sitting down the street at the Air Force Museum. They're doing nothing. They're doing nothing. They're doing nothing. They're over here. Look, they're so sad. Look at how sad it is. It's on a track that goes to nowhere. And speaking of how sad it is, the Delta Force CBC serial number 1 is just sitting out rotting in a field. Pepe hands. Pepe hands. We need to take this thing. We need to take that. We need to take it. And we need to bring it over there. And we need to not use those stupid little dinky track mobiles. There's also a full Titan 1 sitting out here, by the way. Yep. There's a lot of good stuff at this museum if you can get into it. The Titan 1 is inside now? Oh, thank God. Last time I was here, Vulcan, was 2015. It was outside. Last, made a quick edit of what Slick 41 will look like from space with two of these. Look, I love trains and I love rockets. I will never hesitate to find a way to combine both of those things. Eee, that's nice. I like that. Rockanes. Sounds like a disease. Yeah, you got Rockanes. It's a shame. You know what, Thomas? That's all fine and dandy. I'm gonna let you finish, okay? But here, here. All right. You want to know how we would do this if EJ had his way? All right, here. Let's go up here. Let's go up here like this, okay? Still with me? You still with me? What the frick? Okay. All right. We're gonna need something like this, okay? We will print screen, and then your boy will go into Paint, paste that. All right. Okay. So. Yeah. Okay. Right. Copy, paste. I can't rotate it. Damn it. All right. There you go. We'll just do that. Just put another one right here, and then just, we could just, there's already a train line right here. See the train tracks? So you already have a good right of way. Just do that. Just do that, and then, all right, you still with me? Still with me? Everything is fine. You just take this, and we just copy another one of these, right? Just copy another one of these, and then just, yeah. Here we go. Hey, chat, chill, relax, chat, relax. I said relax. Okay. All right. Now, we're just gonna go in here like this. Just give me that color right here. Just give me a brush, right? We're gonna make our brush size nice and big, and then just. See, that wasn't so bad, was it? There we go. You know what? You know what? Just while we're here, let's, while we're here, it'll be fine. Chat, relax. It'll be okay. All right? Just you could trust your boy. All right? Just there we go. Perfection. See? See? We should just do that. Why don't we just do that? No, I don't think they would, but also that'd be pretty sweet. Pipoji. I said 3 launch pads. Perfection. So you already have the train tracks over there to be perfect. That's our version of the Alco. I like it. No, why did you delete it? Because I like to party. Why don't we just put another one of those guys in there? Put another pad right there. Call it a day. That'd be perfect. Anyway, that's really cool that we're seeing crazy expansion though. That's really nice. I'm really happy with this. Also trains. But also, I think yeah, I mean, Thomas, this is most likely what this is going to end up looking like. I don't see why they wouldn't do it, why they would do anything else. But it's also interesting to understand that Orion can launch on Vulcan VC6 if we have the right adapter. It's just very interesting to think about. There's a lot of potential here, and I like it. I like it a lot. Alright, anyway, let's go see what's going on with Starship. Was Pad 41 supposed to be a dual launch complex? Pad 41 is a dual launch complex, T-Man. It's a dual launch complex with Pad 40. 40 and 41 were part of the Air Force's ITL Causeway. Integrate, transfer, and launch. Well, it's not the ITL Causeway. It's just called the ITL Complex, I guess. The ITL Causeway is the causeway that leads to it. Here. I can get you a picture. Hold on. Please hold. Yeah, here. Take a look. See? See the VAB? Solid rocket motor assembly. Complex 40 and 41. They were all part of one big launch complex. It was built around the same time as the VAB. What the ITL was built for was for the Air Force launching spy satellites into space. But up until about halfway through the Apollo program's development, the Air Force had their own manned space program, believe it or not. And that was supposed to launch this. Anybody know? Gemini Manned Orbiting Laboratory. A Gemini capsule with a space station module attached to the back. The space station module was basically the spy satellite. Yep. It was basically a manned spy satellite. That's it. And before you say, oh, were they really going to do that? Yes. Yes, they were. They launched one. With nobody on board, but they launched one. It was a dud. It wasn't fully working, but they did launch one. The Gemini capsule was going to be the Air Force's lift vehicle. And then, because herder, my redundancy, all the Gemini MOL people got moved to the Apollo program. True story. Yeah, the Manned Orbiting Laboratory. Very, very cool stuff. Literally what Salute was, pretty much. Dude, this thing was sick. You could put the trans stage on the back of it. So Titan 2 and Titan 3 had a third stage. So you have SRBs, core stage, Titan 2 second stage, or Titan 3 second stage, and then they had something called the trans stage. The trans stage was a hypergolic 2-engine launch vehicle. Take a look. They used AJ-10s on this thing. Same thing as the Apollo that the Apollo CSM and the Space Shuttle Orbiter Maneuvering System used. You have a trans stage with MOL and the Gemini capsule up at the front. You got yourself a nice little spaceship right here. Zay's like, hey, that's me! That's from Blue Dog, believe it or not. That's Blue Dog. That is a mod for KSP, yep. Trans stage was very cool. You could do a lot of stuff with that. Titan is super, super modular. You could put any stage on top of a Titan 3. Seriously. It was a really good launch vehicle. Personally, I'm more of a fan of Saturn. I think the Saturn would have been better used, but Titan is good too. Check it out. So there was Titan 1, Titan 2, that's the Yeeterino right there, the explodey boy. There's Titan 2 GLV, which is basically where they swapped out the nuclear warhead with a nuclear warhead shaped capsule called the Gemini capsule. This is the one that was from the Gemini program. There's Titan 3B with an Agena upper stage on top of it. There's Titan 3C with a trans stage. There's Titan 3C MOL, which is trans stage manned orbiting laboratory with the capsule. And then there's Titan 3B with a Centaur. Yeah, they put a Centaur 2 on top of this thing. Can you imagine this launch vehicle with a Centaur stage up for the third stage? A Centaur for the third stage. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good launch vehicle. Also, wait, the trans stage was Apollo SM derived? It's not SM derived. It's using AJ-10s. Here. Titan trans stage has AJ-10s at the back, if I'm remembering that correctly. It's the same motor that was on the back of the CSM and the shuttle. And there's a junk picture of one. Looks like some good architecture. Titan was a beast, man. Very good. Personally, I think that Saturn's better, but Titan has more flexibility, which is why the Air Force went with it. Yep. I love these derailments. And Jax, that's why they needed 4 VABs, or 4 bay VABs they needed 4 bay VABs with solid rocket motor attachability and not attachability. And yeah, Titan was beast, man. It was a beast rocket. And it's crazy. It's crazy because Titans flew well into the 2000s. Now, you think Titan 2, you think you'll see these old black and white pictures of a Titan launching. Check this out. After all the Titan 2 missiles went offline, right? They started using it as, NASA and the Air Force started using it as a satellite launcher. And the last Titan 2 launched in 2003. There's pictures of it somewhere. It's very strange seeing color pictures of a Titan rocket. Like launching. That's very weird. Yeah, here we go. Check this out. There it is at Vandenberg. How strange is that? Titan used hypergolics. Synerd. Yeah, look at that thing. The Air Force was launching Titan 2s well into the 2000s. It's a nice color picture of one. That Titan 2, first of all, that Titan 2 that you saw on the screen was assembled in 1961. And that launch was in 2003. Second of all, other vehicles that were flying at the time when that Titan 2 launched in 2003. Atlas V Delta IV, the space shuttle. And Falcon 1 was just a couple of years away from when that launched. Is that weird? That's weird thinking about that. Yeah. Isn't that strange? It's a really strange, that's really strange when you think about it like that. It's very, dude. The Titan rockets were, Titan 1 was used in 1958. It was used in 1958 well into the 2000s because of the Titan 4 rocket. The Delta IV and Atlas V replaced Titan 4. That's what they were designed to do. They were designed to replace it. Pretty crazy, right? Isn't that neat? All right. Anyway, let's see what's going on with. Let's see. What else do we got? Oh, Launcher, this is the footage that Swishio linked. Launcher is firing the rocket engine again. Are we good for our daily headphone users? Headphone user content? I wish. Oh, T-Man, you did it. Yeah, that looks amazing. Okay, headphone users. Headphone users. Headphone users. Third time. All right, you've been warned. Can I just... Why does the engine have that high pitch, that brrrr noise? It's something with how they made the turbo pumps. I don't know exactly what makes that noise, but it's a nice noise. Look it, it's perfect. It perfectly loops. That's awesome. Dude, they are testing the trash out of this. Every single bit of test footage that we have seen has been another rocket launch or another firing. This would be a dope Rave Pyro show. I mean, I'm in for the rockets. At least it's not going like Python. Yeah, we don't talk about them. Nope. Anyway, they're really testing the trash out of that thing. Sounds like an A10 going to work. Vulcan, what's this? Oh, the paraffin rocket. Nice. Yeah, I remember that. So how about that F1, huh? What F1? I don't know what you're talking about.
It's false. No way. Not this time. We created it. Not this time. No, not this time. It's totally made up. Pure fiction.
Race didn't happen.
It's fiction. We made it up. We made this one up. It's a made-up tale. It's a total fabrication.
Total fabrication.
It never happened.
Never happened.
It never happened. This one was invented by a writer.
It's false. It's fiction. Leclerc binned it. Yeah, well, it's hard to fight 2v1 when some bonehead takes your teammate out on the first lap. Yep. Race incident plus ratio. Yeah. You're going to try to ratio me in my own chat here. Why don't you ratio this timeout, bud? Ratio this timeout. Got him! Got him! Oh, shoot. Alright. Yeah, no, it was a good race. No, the Imola race was fine. You actually saw racing at Imola, which... Yeah, that should tell you something about these cars, guys. We saw people racing out of Variante Alta down to Ravazza. We saw people racing. And we saw people racing into Piratella out of Tosa, which... No. That's not really how that works at all. Like, Imola actually produced a fun race with these cars. That's That's good, man. That's good. I'm a little pissed that, you know, Ricciardo got too much of the curb, but it's okay. Also, why is it always a racing incident when a Ferrari gets taken out? People try to play the same crap with, you know, crap with Mercedes, like, oh, you know, Bottas hit a, you know, or Max spun a Ferrari. Oh, it's just a racing incident. It's just a racing incident. It's just a racing. Yeah, no, it's not a racing incident. You got to learn how to drive. Because you deserve it? Yeah, whatever. Ask Lewis whether they can race. I just don't understand. I just don't understand why Toto apologized to Lewis for poor race pace when his teammate is literally getting fourth. Anyone? Anyone care to explain that, Cope? Man, that's worse than mine. Tuesday Tarkov with Taradra, Swagger. I don't know if the car is just bad or if Lewis can't drive the car. Like, I don't know what's going on with that. Yeah, Ricciardo was like, oh. Because otherwise he'd throw another temper tantrum. I don't say that. Those are your words, not mine. Ferrari did not do very well. Leclerc got 6th. Sainz got racing incidented on the first lap. And it was awesome, Swishio. They had to pipe in cheering during the podium ceremony because all the Italians were booing. Yeah. Especially when a McLaren got on the podium. Did you guys notice that? Go watch that podium ceremony again. The golf claps are clearly piped in. It's piped in audio because I know the Italians. They were booing the trash out of everyone. Italians do not lose with grace, man. That's not how that works at all. They were booing everybody. And Max is coming out. Boo! You suck! I love how they give no fricks, man. The Tifosi doesn't care. Sky said there was some booing. Oh, man. Lando got booed hard because his teammate took out Sainz. Not on purpose. I love the Italian crowd. They're so crazy, dude. Those guys are nuts. Oh, my goodness. And when Lewis gets booed, it's not okay? People are going to boo. Like, what do you want? They didn't like the result. It's a crowd of people. You got to remember, it's a crowd of people. You know, if you talk to every one of those people individually, they'd be like, oh, yeah, no, Max is good. But this is a crowd of Italians. They're going to boo everything. So they boo their own team. Like, what do you want? They boo their own damn team. When Ferrari does bad, they boo them. I thought it's funny. It makes me laugh. They're crazy. Oh, boy. All right, back to space news. But yeah, it was a fun race. It was a fun race to watch, I'll admit it, even though Ferrari didn't do too well. All right, so looks like we got some footage from Rocket Lab here. Let's see. All right, T-Man. So it's Philly. Yeah, Ferrari are like Philly fans, pretty much. Yeah, the Tifosi is like that. They'll boo Ferrari if they do bad. Oh yeah, they will. They'll boo anybody. Ferrari doesn't win, whoever gets up on the podium, boo them. Frick them. It's very Italian. It's a very Italian thing to do.
Hey.
Hey.
I just want to triple check that the plan is for me to Uber tomorrow.
Yeah. Do you want to ride?
No, because you won't be here for space news, so...
Okay.
That's...
Are you sure?
If you're going to ask me, I'm going to think you're offering. If you're offering, I would love for you to give me a ride and save $50. But if you want to be here for space news, I'm not going to ask you to give me a ride.
So Brimo is flying home to Detroit for her... as a birthday present. She's going to hang with her family for a little bit. I'm staying here. Give her a ride while streaming. No. I know, Sonic. It's hilarious. Rain, stop woman-splaining being a man to me. That's sexist. That's very sexist of you. Damn, I don't get to meet you at the airport. Sorry, Hobbs. Rain, that was a joke. Just... He's joke. He's a kid. Hush you! Get in the garage and fix my...
Chet, you realize that we're...
Go ahead, tell them.
What?
Say what you were gonna say.
If EJ gives me a ride, you're not gonna see him till probably at least 6 or 6:30. That's why I'm like... See?
No, let's save some money. I'll take a break and I'll drive you.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it's probably better that way.
All right. I love you.
Boop. He doesn't start space until that late anyway. I'll take unneeded things to say for 500.
All right then, cool. We'll save the $50.
Yeah, I'm sure for sure. Got him. All right. So, what time is your flight?
Do you want to mute it so that we can talk about this without chat knowing the details of where I'm going to be and when?
Yes.
Thanks, chat.
Insider trading? Hey, not in front of the kids. Late start of Space News could also have a flow into the docking of Crew 4 at about 8:15 p.m. Coverage of that would start at 7:30. Yeah, Thomas, that's actually going to work. It's tomorrow in the afternoon. The rest of the Rocket Lab stuff. I have it open already. It's right here. Ah, there's some footage from them trying to catch that booster. Yeah, okay, Thomas, that's good. Yeah, we can go right into docking. That's actually a quick dock for them, huh? Cool. Excellent. So, yeah, here's what we'll do. Tomorrow, so I'm going to be up until 5, 6 in the morning. And then I'll get like a couple hours of sleep. And then we'll come and do early hours, right? And then I'll stop at like 4 or 5 o'clock, right? And then I'll be back in time for the docking, you know? I think, and then we'll show the docking for Space News. And then we'll play games for after hours tomorrow, right? Then we'll do Summer Car. Oh, that's gonna be good. It's gonna be a good schedule. That's gonna be fun. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna get like 2 hours of sleep over the next 2 days. That's good. I like this plan. Now, fellas, I did this on purpose. Because I knew this stream was gonna be long. So I slept like, I went to bed at like 8:30 last night and then woke up at like 10:30. Now, don't get me wrong, I woke up in the middle of the night and when I did push-ups to tire myself out to go back to sleep. But yeah, we're good. All right, that's the schedule. Should be good. Anyway, let's finish up with the space news here. And we can do the Starship update tomorrow, fellas, over the weekend. Because, yeah, we're out of time. It's time for Tarkovs. The Tarkovs. Rocket Lab posted a video of that. What? This video right here? But this one right here? Helicopter, 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 helicopter. Helicopter, helicopter, helicopter. Oh, look at that thing. That is a chonker of a helicopter. Nice, nice. Nice, 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 nice. By the way, I expect a lot of Italian jokes and prejudices from you tomorrow. Alright. For Tarkov? I'm not sure there's a demo, but... Oh, come on. They're doing practice here. So this is scheduled to happen next week. Oh, you got it. Come on. Ready? Zzz. Pull the chute. Oh, that's so cool. Drop the music when you catch the rocket. Okay, Rain. Well, you can't never be sure. But also, you woman-splain to me again. You want a fresh one? Nah, I'm good. I'm good, fam. No, we're good. We don't need to do that. Yeah, it's Ed. Tier 2 64-month resub. Do it. You won't. Yeah, you're right. I won't. I don't hit women. Only do that. Moving on. So yeah, that is the There and Back Again Rocket Lab mission. Why did they catch it in midair? So that comes from how Electron is made here. So Electron, what Rocket Lab originally was trying to do with the Electron rocket was try to launch it a lot, right? They were trying to launch it a lot. So this is a small sat launcher. If you look at the railings right there, you can get a pretty good idea how big this thing is. It's not very big, right? So what they were trying to do is make a lot of these and just make it expendable and not fly it a lot. But then they realized something. As they were ramping up their flight cadence, they realized that the first stage, because it's so damn light, makes it through re-entry. It makes it through re-entry and lands in the water intact. Well, not intact, hitting the water kind of. But it basically makes it down to the water in one piece. Now, why? Why would the first stage do that? Well, Rocket Lab makes their rockets out of carbon fiber. It's carbon fiber. Carbon fiber, on top of being a small sat launcher, gives the first stage very, very low, what's called dry mass. First stage is not very heavy. It has a very, very, very low, what's called ballistic coefficient. Meaning the size, comparatively to the weight, is way different. It's very, very big and very, very light. It's about as light as a fairing would be, right? It's about as, I mean, seriously, it's about as light as a fairing on a bigger rocket. And if you take SpaceX, for instance, what do with their fairings? They come back down and then they parachute and then they fish them out of the water. Now, you don't want to go fishing a first stage out of the water because it'll get inundated with salt water and it'll basically ruin the motor, right? So, if their first stage on their small sat launcher is as light as a fairing is, and it makes it through re-entry intact, parachute it down and pick it up with a helicopter. Picking up stuff that's come back from space while it's parachuting down with a helicopter is not anything new, believe it or not. That's actually that's a well-researched technology. Here. The Corona satellites. So the very early version of spy satellites, here, check it out. I will show you. Very early versions of spy satellites would go up, take their pictures on film, because you can't beam the pictures back because it's 1958 or 1961 and there's no way to do it. They would jettison the film. The film would come back down, and believe it or not, it wouldn't even be caught by a helicopter. A C-130 would snag it in the air. There's plenty of research and development on this. Plenty of R&D. So this is not anything that's new. We've snagged stuff coming back from space out of the air with planes. So this should be, I'm not going to say it should be a walk in the park, but it's going to be something that we know a lot about. That's why Rocket Lab is doing it. But, you know, going back to answering your question, why did they do it that way? It's because they figured out that they could reuse it kind of inadvertently. Yeah, they figured out that you could bring these stages back down and reuse them kind of with minimal modifications. Just a parachute in the inner stage and some thermal conditioning, and then you're good to go. You could bring it right back. Yeah, of course, Jax. Dude, there's thousands of rockets out in the ocean from like 600 kilometers downrange from the Cape. There's Delta 4 stages, there's Titan stages, there's Delta 2 stages, there's Gemini GLV, so that's also Titan. Atlas stages, there's a bunch of stuff out in the ocean out there. It's all over the place. One time, somebody, I won't say who, went and fished some of those engines out. Do you know who? So, Jeff Bezos went on and funded an expedition to go and find Saturn V engines from the S1C. They ended up finding the engines from Apollo 11. Yep, they found the engines from Apollo. See? There's the parts. They found them and they preserved them. There's a turbopump. Turbopump impeller. They found the engines from Apollo 11 and they donated them. He donated them to the Museum of Flight. He did it because he freaking could. See? There's what's left of the motors from Apollo 11. Yep. During the There and Back Again mission, they will also attempt to offload Electron onto a ship. Cool. If they can catch it. But yeah, that's the center engine right there for Apollo 11. That's the same motor. Pretty sweet, huh? You can see these motors at the Museum of Flight. Yeah. If you go to the F1 wiki right here, there they are. That rocket engine has been to space. Look at it. Don't get me wrong, it's totally screwed up. It'll never rocket engine ever again. But most of this is in pretty good condition. A lot better a condition than you'd think for sitting at the bottom of the ocean for 50 years. That's not bad. And once again, it's never going to rocket engine ever again. The turbopump is destroyed. Legitimate salvage, cowboy. Yep. Look at some of the injector plates. Look at that injector plate. It's completely intact. Kind of crazy if you think about it. Yeah, that F1 injector plate is mint. Pretty cool. Pretty cool thing from Jeff. I mean, come on. Look, you know, we could say, oh, billionaires this, billionaires that. If I had that kind of money, I would go do the same thing. I'm not even kidding. I can't even sit here and say that I wouldn't. I would go find all of them. I'd be like, we're bringing all the F1 engines back. We're bringing all of them. All of them are coming back. I'm bringing all of them. And I'll go find the S1C parts. I don't give a frick. Let's go find the tank parts and bring them back too. And then we'll reconstruct them. No, they'll never work again. I don't care. But screw it. Why not, right? Like, you have that kind of money. Why not? Nice, Grav. That doesn't suck, man. Can you imagine? I mean, I'd do it. I'd be like, yeah, we're going and getting everything. We're getting all of it. Yeah, see, that one got a little messed up. That's the turbo pump into the power head, I think. But yeah, they got a bunch of rocket engine parts back. It's cool. I mean, like I said, if I had that kind of frick you money, I'd be doing the same thing. I'd go, yep, let's go get those parts back. And then rebuild it and then fire it. What? What was that last part? Huh? What? Rebuild it and fire it again. I don't know what you're talking. I didn't say anything. Fire it, rebuild it, and fire it again. Rebuild it, fire him again. Bring back the F1 engine. Bring it back because we can. I knew I had a pic of it somewhere. There you go, Jax. Yep. They also found Liberty Bell. Yep. What? No, bring it back. Fire it again. Look over here. I hope you're doing great. I'm good, VNatch. How are you? Yep. So here, let's check the manifest here. All right. So we got Crew 4 launching in about 8 hours, give or take. And then we have Electron right there and back again. That's pretty good. And then Starlink on the 29th, also good. There and back again is on the 28th. 28, 29, 5:30 and 3. Excellent. Excellent times for rockets. Perfect. And then, yeah, Capstone, baby. Capstone. That's actually not that far away, man. That's the week after. Hello? And then look at that. We're a little over 2 weeks out. Oh, man. I don't know about you. I love it that so many rocket launches are happening. Boy, does that make me happy. Placeholder probably. Yeah, I know. Just read the instructions, had a fast turnaround. Into port at 1:30 a.m., out of port at like 8 p.m. Damn. That's crazy. Wait, launches make you happy? When does this happen? Oh. Yes. Yes. All right. How many G's you get for going into space? Depends on the rocket, Aces. Human-rated rocket, about 4. 4 G's sustained. It varies, though. Peak will be about 4. 4.5, somewhere around there. Anything beyond that, your body starts to get a little upset. Yeah. Yeah, G-load can vary between 0, obviously, so microgravity, when you get up in the space, right? And it's between 0 and like 4, 4.5, somewhere around there. It depends, because like as the rocket drains fuel, if the thrust stays the same on the rocket engine and while it's draining fuel, your acceleration's going to go faster, right? You're gonna accelerate more. So yeah, like during staging, you get thrown forward, you get thrown back, and then you get pushed back more. You know. When is the Crew 4 launch? About 7 hours, 7.5 hours, something like that. Booster 1073 has been spotted heading to Florida. This booster will fly its first mission during an upcoming Starlink mission. Cool. Speaking of upset, did you see that wobble when the AX-1 crew came down? That must have been fun. Yeah. How many G's translate to thrust to weight? Well, I mean, that's the same thing, isn't it? If I'm thinking about that, right? It's like quick. Yeah, that's the same. Yeah, I just wanted to be sure. Yeah, it's the same thing. I get to see your first launch on Friday in person. Can't wait. Nice, Andrew. There you go. All right.